Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick card reading for January 18th through the 24th. If you are new to pick card readings, I have 3 piles set up here, 1, 2, and 3. I will be placing objects here to help you choose if you can't decide already. But what you need to do is concentrate on which pile looks like it has messages for you. And then I have timestamps down below, and then you can listen to that reading and take what resonates. So this is really me using my intuition to help you engage your intuition. So the first step that you need to take is to pick a pile, and I am going to be adding objects, like I said, to help you choose. So pile 1 is going to be this Triceratops. The plant in here is a Pearl von Nuremberg. Pile 2 is going to be a T-Rex, and the plant in here, it's got a red tone. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it is an Echeveria mensa or Byzantine, but it's one that has red tones, and it will get darker the more sunlight it is exposed to. And then for our final pile, we have a Brontosaurus. Again, the plant in here is an Echeveria as well, and I think this is a red blush. The tips of it have a little bit of red on it, and the more it's exposed to sunlight, the redder it will get. So take a moment, pick your pile, pause the video if you need to, and check the timestamps in the description, and I will meet you at your pile. Hello group 1, I already have some of our oracle cards out for us. This is the archetype for the week. This is either you or what you're dealing with. Light attributes of the queen, radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. We'll get more into each one of these cards once we have our tarot cards out. I just want to give you like a foundation here. And then shadow attributes of this are becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling, and demanding. Next, I want to talk about these 2 cards, perception and emergence. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So that's really interesting. Emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. I love that. Next, we have these 2 cards in the middle. She who hesitates, ponder, delay, confidence. And this is talking about working on our confidence because she's not ready yet. She's hesitating. And then she who guides, new path, guide, renewal. So even though this kind of seems like a stuck energy, I don't think that you're going to be there forever because those coming out together. But let's see what the other cards we have for us. And then finally I have a there is nothing I cannot be, do, or have. I love this for your week. Welcome to planet Earth. That's pretty funny. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. Go forth on this day of your life experience knowing that your real work is to be decided when you want, and then focus upon that. Go forth giving thought to what you want, attracting life experiences to help you decide what you want. And once you decide, giving thought only to that. So I love this because sometimes we don't even really know what we want, and that might be part of what we're hesitating, and going into the perception as well, because finding out, discovering things about ourselves is part of perception. First tarot card here, we have Four of Swords. So this is very, very much related here to the she who hesitates. This is taking a rest, relaxing, meditating, getting in touch here with what you want, kind of calming all the other voices, listening to your intuition here with the moon, and letting that energy, letting that information flow into you by listening to your inner voice. Next, we have the Knight of Swords, but reversed. And I like this with the Four of Swords. First of all, they're both swords cards. We talk about thoughts. This is, what we're thinking, the information that's coming into us. Knight of Swords upright is a very fast moving energy. You can see here, he's moving very quickly. But reversed, it is slowed down. It talks about being maybe unfocused a little bit and burnt out. So this rest is really important for you coming into this week. It's really important for you to check into with yourself, like ponder here what's going on. Delay, there may be a delay in some information that you've been looking for. And then also that new path, the renewal, it's a renewal, like we rest and relax to find that. Finding that is going to be key to your success this week. This is the World. Look at how beautiful this is. And this is more than, this is kind of like just waking up, being a little bit carefree. This is also a completion. So if something has been weighing heavily on your mind, like you are ready to be done with that, to move on with it. I think you are, you're really letting this information come in for you to decide which direction that you want to go in. Like this card says, there's nothing that you cannot be, do, or have, but you have to know what direction you want to go in to find that new path for yourself. And speaking of paths, we have the Eight of Cups, and this is walking away from a situation. This is letting go of something that's no longer serving you, moving in a new direction. Cups here are it's emotions. So it's something that you've been really emotionally invested in. A lot of times this is a relationship. It doesn't have to be, though. A lot of times we are really invested in our job, in our work, what we're doing. I love this with the She Who Guides, the new path, because you're checking in with yourself, just letting some things go that both of these cards here are letting things go. She's letting go of her hat and being very carefree, giving that up to the wind, and then she's letting go of these emotions and moving on. This She Who Guides card, I love that. If you can see that, she has a bird on her shoulder. It always reminds me of the saying, it's like, I always wonder why birds stay in the same place when they can fly anywhere on earth. And then I ask myself the same question. And this too, this energy right here, I love this. Like, you can fly wherever you want to go. It's just like deciding what direction it is that you're going into. And then we have the Page of Cups. So wherever you're going, this is a new beginning. It's very creative for you. It's going to get messy. To make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. This person is not very concerned about, painting within the lines. This is a renewal, basically, of some creative energy. Well, it's cups too, but the image is very creative. So it's being fed up kind of here with an emotional situation, but finding this creative energy and this new opportunity by listening to intuitive messages. And back to this card here, this is allowing intuitive, quieting things, quieting your environment, quieting even your mind, and allowing those messages to come in and flow to you so that you can find out where it is that you want to go and the direction is. And this is interesting, the Two of Cups, but in reverse. The Two of Cups is about partnership. It can speak about love, but it's definitely two people like on the same page. Reversed, though, we've got an issue with balance. This doesn't necessarily mean that whatever relationship that you're in is going to break up. But it's talking about not being on the same page there. And I don't know if this is what you're walking away from, but if you've been thinking about it and contemplating it, right here is your sign. Now, if you've not thought at all about walking away from your relationship, this is not your message. But stepping back, and at least this is the energy for this week, like stepping back from that. And it may be that this is what you need to quiet your mind from, that you're getting too many mixed signals, mixed messages from that, and really define here for yourself where that is that you want to go. Let's go and look at these two cards here. Especially this one is so connected with here is she's just like hesitating, kind of looking into her shadow. When you start looking into spirituality, people talk about your shadow self and doing shadow work and looking at the dark side of yourself, really investigating that, embracing that, because that will tell you where you want to go. It'll reveal things about yourself, and it'll give you the answers of where you're headed. This world is just being happy and carefree with everything that is you, everything that defines you, everything that is within you, inside of you. And basically, like, the world is yours. The world is your oyster. You have two cards talking about that. So when you come into this week with this energy where you're feeling like maybe a little bogged down and unfocused and burnt out, right here, 3 cards with that kind of energy of like, oh, I don't know where I want to do. I don't know where I want to go. This information is not coming in for me. I just do not very confident. Just take the moment, take that time with yourself, because the rest of it is breaking through there and finding that new path for renewal. Let's talk about perception and emergence now. Perception is just looking at things in a new way, and finding that, again, where you want to go and what you're looking for. It's moving beyond any boundaries that you see. And emergence is deep inner work and deep release. So all of these are very, very, very connected. The only one that is a little bit out there really is this queen energy that we talked about. And I'm wondering if this is actually like who the cups is talking about, who you need to step away from, and the shadow attributes that somebody is, trying to be controlling and trying to be very demanding with you. And that is not what you're looking for right now, and that's not what you're and it's not helping you on your path of discovery for this week. So I'm thinking that this queen energy, and especially the shadow attributes, is kind of what you're stepping back up and away from, and finding a new path away from that, because nothing else here talks about protecting others. Of course, it's a great message to step into your power and protect others. I'm just not seeing it from the rest of the cards that this is. It might be a side message for some of you. When you have the opportunity, absolutely step up and protect others if you were in the position to do that. But the rest of the cards don't necessarily speak to that, which makes me think that we're really dealing with the shadow attributes and a person that is not really serving you right now, and that it's kind of like the relationships and a bit of like the end of a cycle, and allowing you to step out in a new direction when you find it. So that is what I have for you, group 1. It does look like a great week. I love this message that you can do, have, or be anything. It's just funny because when you have so many opportunities and so much available to you, that's almost as hard as when you have only one opportunity, or you're looking for opportunities and you don't know where to go. Because it's almost like wherever direction that you step into, you're going to be successful, but but I think you really find something that feels good to you, and that's what cups are. Cups are feeling that you find you go here, and it's really more of a journey on your own versus a journey with somebody else, because it is connecting with this inner source here and building your own confidence in yourself, which you should have confidence in yourself. I mean, you're going to have a great week. So thank you, group 2, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 2. If you picked the T-Rex, you are in the right spot. I already laid out some oracle cards here for you, so you don't have to watch me fight with the little easels on camera. And this is the archetype for the week. Slave, light attributes, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. And the divine is like the universe, God, whatever you believe in, and your spiritual system in that way. And then the shadow attribute, though, is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So this is when you don't trust yourself and you give up, whatever that is, thinking, or your free will, or whatever that is. So this is going to be an interesting week for you, I think. And then we have the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. So yeah, already feeling a spiritual journey here. And then we have belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and our strong connection to source. Again, that is the connect. When we talk about in this reading, any of my readings, when I talk about source, the universe, spirit, that is, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, because this is not like, I'm not excluding anybody, I'm including things, and actually even bigger than that, because I think that when we think about the universe or source, that it's almost beyond our comprehension of it, even with religion, which we have tried to define. So beyond that, we have she who knows, wisdom, clarity, resolution, and she who whispers, secrets, confessions, and confident. That's very interesting. We'll tie those in a little bit more as we get more cards out. And then my every relationship can now feel better. By intending, as you are moving into a segment of a relationship, to focus upon your points of harmony, to give your great attention not to what you are disagreeing about, but to the things you agree upon. That is the resolution in all relationships. For when you focus on what you do not like, by the laws of attraction, you solicit more of what you do not want. This is really interesting because, like I was saying, I'm trying to be inclusive here of whatever you believe. That's why source, spirit, that kind of thing. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. We're focusing on what we agree upon together, not what we disagree about, because honestly, we agree on way more things, and we have way more common interests. Everyone does than the things we disagree about. But it's the things that we disagree about that gets bigger and blown out of proportion. And coming back to this, it almost makes us like, the reason that that it pushes for division is so we do give up our authority to others out of fear. Whew. First card, Queen of Wands in reverse. This is interesting because this is it's not bad in reverse. A lot of people think that reverse cards are bad, and that doesn't necessarily mean that. It's self-respect, self-confidence, and reestablishing the sense of self. You could also be an introvert. I find that interesting, the sense of self within the context of your other cards here. Almost too with the whispers, like secrets, confessions. I'm wondering if you are feeling isolated. Let's get some more cards out. Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is just really a slow-moving energy. And it's okay. It's slow and steady wins the race, but it's hard work, and it's putting in the work, and it's a routine, finding that routine that works for you, and getting some productivity going. Then we have Judgment in reverse. Judgment is really interesting here with the Queen of Wands in reverse, Judgment in reverse, because this is giving some mixed messages here this week with some self-doubt, inner critic, and kind of like ignoring your calling. And I said something earlier about like a spiritual awakening, and I'm wondering if it's a fear thing, if it's something you feel like you're not ready for, you don't really know what direction you should be going in, and that's why you're not moving on it the way that you should, which is interesting is also because you have the Magician and you have the ability to do it. The Magician is somebody who uses swords, cups, wands, and pentacles, like all of the elements. They have the power within them, plus they're very spiritual as well. It's almost like the fourth, earth, water, fire, and spirit. And that's very, very connected to the earth here, that you have all of the magic inside of you. You're able to do this if you want to. I think it's just a matter of a direction thing and not knowing where you need to go here with Judgment. Again, very the star, but in reverse. Very connected to Judgment. A little bit with these two cards of like a mixed message here of because you have a lack of faith and despair and some self-trust issues. You're feeling disconnected, and like this Earth card is really telling you to like be very connected. It's a deep connection to yourself, to others, and this card over here is talking about your connection with others as well. And you're over here feeling disconnected and not really knowing where to go. Okay, let's see what the last card tells us. Justice in reverse. And this can tell us, an imbalance. If you take a look at the Justice here, the scales are the black and the white cat are on the scales. Justice is blind, but she's not really blind. She sees everything. So this disconnection, very much showing up with Justice in reverse as well. Some sort of, I don't know if you feel like there's some dishonesty going on, that something is not resonating with you personally. And it's, these are really some powerful cards. And I think I was on the right track when I was talking about kind of like a spiritual journey for you this week. And you're not really sure where to go, who to talk to, who to listen to. You just feel really disconnected from that. And it's almost like you don't know where the starting place is, but it's interesting because there is no starting place. Like, you don't know how to get started on this journey. Like, what's step 1, what's step 2, what's step 3? But this journey is so personalized that you have to figure this journey out for yourself. It's very optimistic here, though, with the Knight of Pentacles and the Magician, because you can do this. It's all within yourself. It's getting that connection with the earth. It's understanding your beliefs, trusting in truth. Belief goes beyond just like what you see. Analytical and logical mind. It's pulling in your heart and intuition. I see that almost like the Magician here, like with the earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, right? Earth, water, fire, air can combine for one thing, but what you're seeing is not resonating with you, and what's going on is not resonating with you. It's almost like you're seeing something happen that's happening either on the news or on social media, but that is not in your reality. That's not how you define things for yourself. And bridging that gap can happen. It is getting you moving in the right direction, but it's all about baby steps. And when I was talking about, like, we don't know what the right step is, step 1, step 2, step 3, like, it's so very personalized. Like, you have to dig within yourself and find your confidence to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then when it starts working for you, step to the next step, step to the next step. And then all of a sudden you are on your journey here, and you didn't even realize it. And then the rest of these things will fall into place. It is about not surrendering your freedom to somebody else, not letting somebody else control you, not being controlled, bringing your power back to yourself, and using what you're looking at in your reality as your guide for your beliefs. So, this one, She Who Knows, Wisdom, Clarity, Resolution. This is seeing how things really are. It's wisdom and insight. It's using your head and heart. It's letting go of worry and trusting that when you come up to obstacles, that, you know, part of the problem with having like a set, like 1, 2, you know, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, is that when you encounter an obstacle and those things don't work, you don't have the creativity behind you to, like, for out of the box thinking and to conquer it on your own. So that's why you're not relying on that. You're doing your own journey, you're doing your own thing, but right now you don't have the confidence to do that. All I can tell you is that you have the power inside of you. Look at these major arcana cards: Judgment, the Magician, the Star, Justice. And yes, okay, 3 of them are upside down, but most of it is just because you're feeling disconnected because you don't trust yourself. Call on this Queen of Wands and trust yourself. Pull your power back from wherever you're just letting it happen, whoever you're giving it up to. Make your own choices, make your own decisions, and choose your own steps. You know, you have to pull this together for yourself. Something that works for one person doesn't work for somebody else. Let's go to this She Who Whispers, Secrets, Confessions, and Confidence. If somebody tells you secrets, of course, you know, you keep that for yourself. But this is really knowing, and it goes here with the belief too, knowing in your heart what is true and what are lies, and releasing those burdensome secrets, like any secrets about yourself. This is almost with Justice as well. like facing your fears and probably your inner fears about yourself, whatever is holding you back from your confidence. You are not the only person who feels whatever it is, who feels like powerless or hopeless. It is looking at those things and really understanding that everybody feels that way and moving past it. Don't let it stop you. It's not a wall. It's not a boundary. It is there for you to just kind of like overcome and just be on your way and go on your own path. And how are you going to get there? With the magic inside of you, and just baby steps, just one step at a time. Like, just look at one thing at a time, and whatever is not resonating with you, whatever is just does not seem real, either just letting that go, like, okay, this is not part of my reality, and not letting that bother you and bog you down, not worrying about it for yourself, trusting to the universe that the truth will come out. It's really interesting too. I'm just remembering that last Wednesday, was a new moon in Sagittarius. Why that's important and why I'm seeing that as important for this reading is because new moon in Sagittarius is all about truth coming out. And as we go from the new moon to the full moon, like the new moon, it just means that there's no moon in the sky, that the light is completely blocked off. It's the opposite of the full moon, but things grow and more truths are revealed. And that's Sagittarius is about truth being revealed. So it just really feels connected to this reading in particular, because it feels like truth is an issue for you. Like, we've got two cards here. Actually, we've got belief as well, that things are not feeling truthful for you, that whatever source you're looking at just doesn't feel truthful and is causing an issue for you. It's causing problems with your confidence. What you need to do is trust yourself, that you know what resonates with you and you know what's true for you. And going on that journey and finding that connection, then once you let go of like, okay, you know what, I'm being told this, but it doesn't feel right. That's okay. I'm going to let it go. I'm going with what is happening in my reality, what is my truth. That is going to help you move past this and then find that deeper connection with Earth, the universe, and source. So really interesting this week, group 2. I think it's going to be a great week where you can make some much deeper connections. And when you focus on what you have in common, and let that be what guides you with other people, and then with yourself, let what guides you with what resonates with you, because you're a very, very powerful here. You're a very powerful person. It's just, so for some reason you're doubting it. And I think it's because you're looking at the way other people are describing the world versus what you're seeing in the world, and it's not connecting, and you need to go with yourself. You need to pull your power back. So thank you, group 2, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. If you picked the Brontosaurus, you are in the right spot. I have already laid out some of the oracle cards for us. This is the archetype for the week. Judge. The light attributes are balance, justice, and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Shadow attributes, offering only destructive criticism, misusing big business, legal, or criminal authority. So we'll see how that relates more as we get more cards out here. Crown chakra, the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe, our ability to transmute negative energy into light. So that is talking about the violet color is the flame of transmutation, and it burns away negative energy and turns it into light. So that's a beautiful way of thinking about like any negative energy that you come across this week, just like pulling in that information and then thinking about radiating out light and positivity from that. And it's interesting that it's in your crown chakra. The crown chakra is at the top of your head. It has to do with spiritual connection as well. 18, cosmic flower. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core of which we pour our magnificence out into the world. I really love that. That's really pretty, the cosmic flower. And it's talking about drinking in that nectar like if we were a hummingbird. So you can be a hummingbird this week and just going to that cosmic flower and drinking that nectar from where we come from. Next we have She Who Surrenders, Estefania, chains, bondage, and release. And then we have She Who Battles, Abenolaka, justice, fierce commitment. And that name is, I forget which language it is, but it means fierce in that language. And I like these two together because Estefania is somebody who, she's clutching a love letter from somebody who hurt her in the past. And it talks about those, revisiting those old wounds, those old scars, and letting that anchor us to a place where it's something that's not serving us anymore. We just really need to shed it and let it go. And I love the She Who Battles with that. I love that she's got that knife, like cut those ties to those old things, put on your armor, and move forward from that. We also have I Can Change My Life by Changing My Thoughts. By choosing a thought that feels slightly better than the thoughts you have been thinking, you can gradually change the direction of your thoughts by focusing upon a better feeling thought. The law of attraction will respond to that thought, and therefore the balance of your thoughts will now improve. So it's funny that I'm reading this like right after I talk about these two spaces, because sometimes it feels like when we're in this like really sad space, like to get all hyped up to like go out to battle and be really fierce, like you can't do that. You can't just snap and change. But what you can do is like, okay, I'm sad, but I'm going to put this letter down and I'm not going to revisit that. So I'm slightly less sad. And then I'm going to do something else. And then I'm going to do something else. And then move on from there. So it's really more of like a chain of events, a chain of thoughts to move you from where you are to where you want to be, and understanding that things do not just change overnight, that it is like baby steps to get there to where you want to be. So let's look at the tarot cards and talking about baby steps to get away from where you don't want to be. Five of Pentacles. So if you take a look at this card, these are two people kind of out in the cold. There is like this lodge or this house or this church behind them that looks very warm, but they're kind of like moving past. It's really interesting though, like, we have blinders on a lot of times, and when we're going through something that isn't necessarily the most pleasant, it's in a spot that we don't really want to be in, but we're not necessarily looking around for a better spot. And that's kind of what this law of attraction is talking about too, that, okay, from here to here, like it's on the card, it doesn't seem like a far distance, but when you're feeling like you're out in the cold and your hands are frozen, it's how am I going to get there? I'm so like worn down, and it's just one step at a time and moving, like picking that spot, picking that direction where you want to go. And making that happen, getting to that place that you want to go, one step at a time. Next, we have the Queen of Swords. I love her throne. It almost looks very Game of Thrones-ish back there with the swords. But the Queen of Swords, she's independence, unbiased judgment. I like it with this Judge card here. Very, very balanced, takes in all the information. Swords is about information. Swords is about communication. She's somebody who can communicate and talk to. So Queen of Swords is somebody who puts up boundaries, but like in a good way. She's like, no means no. She's not going to go off and do something to people please just to people please. It's going to be something that she wants to do. She's almost more of this like very fierce justice energy, and not in this chains, bondage, release. She's going to use that sword and cut that tie, cut that cord. She's going to say like, nope, you're somebody who makes me feel bad about myself. I'm not going to do this for you, or I'm not going to bend over backwards to make you happy because you're never happy. I'm going to take my energy towards what makes me happy. The Hermit. So the Hermit is pretty interesting here. We've got out in the cold, and then the Hermit is here sitting next to the fire. And I love this because it's like definitely moving somewhere for you. But the Hermit is very introspective. I love this light, this fire here for you, keeping you warm, but connecting with your inner guidance. You may feel like you need to be alone a little bit this week. I mean, Estefania here is alone as well, but she's alone with her sadness, and the Hermit is kind of like weighing those things out, kind of getting past that, building that inner strength, cutting those negative ties. And then I said strength, and then here we are with the Strength card. Yes, so more strength, more courage, influence. And this strength does not have to be like brute strength. Strength does not have to be like overwhelming or pushy. Strength is, back to the Queen of Swords, boundaries. Strength can be very quiet. In this card, the strength is this this witch who's with the lion. The lion is willingly going with her. Why? Because she's got this quiet, calm strength about her. She's walking away from this tornado. She may even be just like zapping that tornado, like, no drama. This is a no drama zone. I'm putting up my boundaries. We're not having it. I'm not going back to that. I'm not going to be tied to that. I am going to balance things out. I'm going to see things with justice and compassion. And then we have the High Priestess in reverse. So this is secrets, disconnected from your intuition, possibly, which is why, it's almost like the opposite of the Hermit. The Hermit is coming here, and maybe that's why you need to spend some time here getting connected with your intuition. The fire is oftentimes like you think about your intuition, inner wisdom here with the owl as well on this card. Let me show you that. You can see the owl up here, the inner wisdom. But the High Priestess is normally already connected to that. However, she's in reverse here. So that might be an issue for you. And just still kind of very much in that kind of still that the surrenders that you need to surrender to, just release and letting go. The High Priestess, yes, step away from, I said something about drama here, step away from drama. And then we've got the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about a decision to make. And I'm wondering if, like the Queen of Swords can make this decision all day long. She weighs, she's very logical, and she can make very logical decisions. And I'm wondering if this is a difficult decision for you to make because you're feeling disconnected from your intuition here. So it's just, it could also be that other people are trying to influence you. And that's why you need to like set those boundaries, go back here, judge, weigh your options, and just really make the best decision for yourself. You can't put it off any longer. You need to go ahead and make a decision. This Estefania and this Hermit are very kind of like stagnant energy, like just sitting here and not making that decision. But to move forward, just find your inner strength and tap into that to make the best decision that you can. I also love the crown chakra when we're talking about this. This is, your chakra on the top of your head, your thoughts, and really just take this blindfold off. Don't just take a stab at it. Make a decision that makes sense to you. So that's what I have for you, group 3. Yeah, I'm just looking over the cards, wondering if I missed anything, and I don't think so. I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.